Hey everyone, it's Amy Lynn Durham, and you're listening to Create Magic at Work. Create Magic at Work is on a mission to equip senior leaders with tools they need to be a true servant leader and actually understand what that means. Improve employee engagement, retain top talent, and transform your workplace culture to have less stress and drama. So let's start making magic. Hey everyone, Amy Lynn Durham here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Create Magic at Work. Today, I want to share with you some ways to overcome the Sunday scaries. I see a lot of posts on social media joking about them. And if you haven't heard of what the Sunday scaries are and you're in leadership, I'm excited about that because that means hopefully you're not experiencing them. If you are someone that knows what I'm talking about, hopefully you're having a little chuckle right now, but it is a serious thing that a lot of leaders experience and employees, people in the workforce in general experience before going back to work on Monday. They call it the Sunday Scaries. So what are the Sunday Scaries? The Sunday Scaries are that heavy sense of anxiety and dread that sets in on Sunday afternoon or evening as you're starting to think about the work week ahead. And it's a term that's become popular in recent years. And because a lot of people are experiencing this heavy sense of anxiety and dread kicking in on Sunday afternoon, I thought it would also be a little humorous to share the Urban Dictionary's definition of the Sunday Scaries. And so the Urban Dictionary's definition is the feeling you have after a long week of work, followed by a Saturday full of binge drinking, when Sunday hits you and you question your entire existence. So I've seen a lot of Instagram posts and memes that joke about it. What I wanted to do today was help everyone, just offer some fun, light, magical ways that you can overcome the Sunday scaries. And if you are feeling this common feeling of anxiety that builds up over the course of Sunday afternoon before you have to go back to work on Monday, hopefully this will bring some magic to your life and help you think about how you can shift out of experiencing that dread and anxiety on Sunday. So I came up with 4 different themes and ways that you can utilize to overcome this fear of overwhelm and dread and anxiety if you're experiencing it. And if you're not, hopefully these are going to be some fun, uplifting, magical tips that put you in a space where you start off your week energized and passionate about what you do. So, number 1, no coincidence, is passion. How can you recognize and cultivate passion in your life? How can you put yourself in a space where you can feel that you have great power within and you can feel inspirational about the week? So start thinking about your career or your job or your future dream job, let's say, and start thinking about your life. And start to get really clear on what you're passionate about. Take some time where you're really tapped in, where you really feel like you're silent, you're thinking about your life, and make a list of what you're passionate about. If you can't think of something that you're passionate about, that's okay. How about something that energizes you? What do you do in your life, or what can you do in your life where you feel energized? And then jot down 3 things, what you want your life to look like in 10 years. You can write it in 10 years. My achievements will include bullet point 1, bullet point 2, and bullet point 3. Or voice note it right now if you're jogging or cleaning house, listening to the podcast. In 10 years, what are 3 things that you feel your achievements will include? And think about what you're passionate about and what energizes you. So that's the first way. That's going to get you into this creative space. And it's a micro step to get you into invention. What am I inventing in my life? This is a time for creative thought, new ideas, innovation, beginning new things, artistic inspiration. And spring and summer are excellent times to do this. So this is a perfect tip to overcome the Sunday scaries for this time of year as well. Moving on to tip number 2 is time. I want to pause here because I'm going to run through these 4 ways to overcome the Sunday scaries. I'm already on number 2, but I want to take a moment to really honor this statement and question that I'm going to ask of you. So first, I want you to think about time, and I want you to think about how time is infinite and there is no finish line. I talk a lot on the podcast about enjoying the journey and not racing to the finish line. What if all you had was what you had today? Can that be enough for you? And then live in the paradox of this statement with that. Time is infinite and there is no finish line. What are some ways that you can make time expand for you? That feels like a very existential question. Think about that though. Think about your relationship with time. Think about the limits of our human perception and also couple that with your relationship with time. Have you ever experienced moments in your life where time sped up? Have you ever experienced moments in your life where you felt time slowed down? That right there is evidence that you have a relationship with time that you can manipulate. You can make time expand for you. You can set an intention. Please let time expand for me today. Try it and see what happens with that. Especially if you feel like you have a really heavy workload for the week. Often I see clients that make priorities and lists that they might want to achieve on a workday. Oftentimes that list to me with my relationship with time looks like it's something that would take a whole week to complete. A coaching tip from a spiritual intelligence perspective is setting intention that time expands for you today. And it's never going to get done. So if you're feeling that dread and overwhelm from your workload with the Sunday scaries, just take a breath and remind yourself the list never goes away. And oh, by the way, the more successful you get with all of these goals that you'd like to achieve, the more responsibility you hold and the more success you have to hold. So your relationship with time needs to be really clear. And that goes along with prioritizing what's most important in your life. These are deep topics, but they're things for you to think about. How can I prioritize what's most important to me? So a really great homework assignment for this particular way to overcome the Sunday scaries is if you're having a moment of solitude on Sunday, hopefully you didn't binge drink on Saturday and you're feeling horrible, but even if you are and you're laying in bed, I want to call you to have a conversation with time and ask time what it's like to be in a relationship with you. Are you always screaming at it to hurry up? Or are you always yelling at time to slow down and demanding things from it? Or are you easing into the feeling that time is infinite and there is no finish line? Hey, magic makers, Amy here. Listen, I wanted to say to all of you, don't get hung up on the word spiritual. Spiritual intelligence is a faith-neutral practice, and it can be accessed by almost anyone. Your spiritual intelligence experience will be unique to you, and often it starts with making wise and compassionate decisions for yourself, and also working on boundaries and protecting your energy. Let me help guide you to lose the stress and overwhelm and feel that deeper sense of meaning in your life. Spiritually intelligent people practice making wise and compassionate decisions even under great stress and maintain inner and outer peace while doing so. You can't fake spiritual intelligence, but with some inner work, you'll be able to feel and exude this energy, and everybody around you will notice and want to follow suit. Think about what your ripple effect is in this world and how you want to leave it. If you're interested in going on this transformational journey, reach out to me. Email amy@createmagicatwork.net or go to createmagicatwork.net/work with me. Sending magic to everyone. So that's tip number 2 to overcome the Sunday scaries from my spiritual intelligence perspective. Tip number 3 is make time to reward yourself for the work that you've already accomplished. I cannot tell you how many leaders, people, clients I speak with that are super goal oriented. They're focusing on the next thing, the next step they want to take in their business, the goals they want to achieve in their business, financially, personally. They haven't taken a vacation. They're waiting for that perfect moment, which we know there's not perfection, that they can block off 2 weeks and be gone. No, you have to make time to reward yourself for the work that you accomplished today. So if going out to a beautiful picnic on a Sunday afternoon and viewing that as a space to reward yourself for the work that you accomplish feels good to you, I would recommend that, because that takes your mind off all of this anxiety and overwhelm that is coming for the week. Pick the Sunday afternoon time to reward yourself for the work that you have already accomplished. Think about what you're proud of that you've accomplished and congratulate yourself on a job well done in a celebratory way by breaking up routine and going on a mini vacation for the afternoon, for the weekend, whatever that looks like for you. And then the 4th way to overcome the Sunday scaries that I'd like to offer you is, this isn't exactly something to do on Sunday, but it's thinking about your finances, making decisions with sound judgment so you continue to attract good fortune. As a leader, you should lead by example in this area. And maybe as you are taking time to reward yourself for a job well done, you start envisioning what the future could look like with 1 to 2 to 3 goals that can bring in financial success for you. This is an interesting recommendation, but it will put you in that feeling of calling in the energy of financial freedom that you want to feel today, rather than stressing about your workload and your bills. And I do see posts. I'm active on social media. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, or if you're not connected to me on LinkedIn, please reach out to me. I love interacting on there with everybody and sharing wisdom back and forth with each other. But anyways, back to the finances. The posts that I see on social media are tied into the Sunday scaries because it shows people joking around about how they blew their whole checking account over the weekend because they went out and went binge drinking, and then they feel horrible on Sunday, and then they have this overwhelm and anxiety going to work on Monday. I would hope that you don't fall into that space. And so being a steward of your money is really important for success in life and business. So maybe prior to Sunday, you're really thoughtful about how you're spending your money when you do go out to celebrate and reward yourself. You don't have to pay for everybody's tab. You don't have to buy everybody's drink. You can be kind and generous, and everyone can have responsibility for their own bill or tab. Just standing in that energy of someone who attracts good fortune, and that you're good in business and that you bring financial success is something great to think about. How can you bring in financial success for yourself and be good in business for the coming week rather than stressing about your workload? Think about ways that you can do that. Thank you for tuning in to this solo episode on 4 ways to overcome the Sunday scaries. If you didn't know what they were before this episode, I hope you got a kick out of listening to what they're about. If you are someone that is experiencing that anxiety and overwhelm, I hope you really think about these 4 different themes. You can get really deep with them. You can replay the episode, pause, listen to one theme at a time, and dive into deeply each theme rather than focusing on the anxiety and the panic for the week. That was my intention, is that I sent something out that we flipped the energy, we transmuted it to focus on what we want in our life. Passion, viewing time as being infinite, rewarding ourselves, and making good decisions with our finances. Sending magic to everyone. Please let me know what you thought of this episode. If you loved it, leave a rating and a review, and reach out to me if you're interested in my private one-on-one coaching. Sending magic to all of you. Hey everyone, it's Amy here. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Create Magic at Work. And please come back often and subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Keep joining us for more exciting episodes where we help you transform workplace culture to systems that create less drama and stress and have high productivity and profitability. You can get your own tools for the workplace at createmagicatwork.net. I have a new Create Magic at Work, the journal, that just released, and it invites you to reflect about different themes for work and your career. Each section of the journal contains a topic, an affirmation, and 2 prompt questions to help you journal your thoughts. Topics are like inspiring others, mentorship, expansion, and productivity. So connect with me at createmagicatwork.net. Also connect with me on LinkedIn under Amy Lynn Durham. Sending magic to everyone, and see you next time.